Louis in France, and he's going to tell us how to vote for the FTX plan.
I am not going to tell you how to vote for the FTX plan. This is not legal advice. This is not financial advice.
He's not telling you to vote yes or no. He's showing you how to vote.
How to physically do it. I cannot give you financial or legal advice. The one thing I can give you is lifestyle choice advice. And before you do this, unless you have any pre-existing health condition or suffer from alcoholism, pour yourself a drink.
Oh!
I'm going for some Japanese whiskey.
You know, we didn't plan this, but I literally have some sake sitting right in front of me. What are the odds, huh? What are the odds? Should we have a drink?
Let's fucking go.
You're in France. What time is it over there?
It is 10:15 p.m. I am like 16 drinks ahead of you. My parents.
It is 1 p.m. here. I should not be drinking right now. I'll pour myself a tiny little baby shot. Anyway, people are not here for that. People want to know how to vote for the FTX plan. How? As in, we're going to give you a tutorial. We're not telling you to vote yes or no.
A guided tour of the most fucked up thing I've seen. So, it is difficile. So some of you may be very worried because you received an email that says that your claim is impaired. Do not freak out. That means that either you had FTT in your claim, or your claim was below $10, or you had a Blockfolio account with less than $10 on it. Don't freak out. You should be able to vote your claim. Now, how to vote your claim is you go onto the claim portal. This is a claim that I've bought. It is not my claim, if you were wondering how big Louis' claim is. How big is Louis' claim? You will not know. This is a claim I bought. It is a Class 5A claim, which means it is a .com customer claim, and it is not in the convenience class.
So FTX international customer, which was over $50,000.
Yes. If you have a convenience class claim, you can vote that too. I thought it would be more.
Convenience class is under $50,000 for anyone who isn't aware.
Yes. This is a claim that I bought. It's a Class 5A claim. That means it's not convenience class and it's .com. I'll show you the voting for convenience class afterwards. So you get onto here, you click submit your ballot. You have until August 16th to do this. Now, whatever you decide to vote and however you decide to do it, I actually do recommend you vote your claim. It does absolutely no harm to actually go through with this. It just validates your ownership over the claim. And in a perverse, weird way, it increases your probability of actually getting paid. So I would go through with it. Click next. You could read this long introduction if you have the patience, but take it from me. Basically, what they're saying is that you have until August 16th to get this done. Don't leave it to the last minute. If you get this wrong, you can do it again, and the latest filing is the one that's going to be taken into account. So, item 1 is the Bahamas opt-in. It is very confusing. If you want to be in the Bahamas opt-in, you click this box. Now, I'm not giving legal or financial advice, but I personally, for my claim, see absolutely no reason to go the Bahamas route. 1, you're accepting the plan if you go down the Bahamas route. You have to go through an unknown process with new KYC, with an unknown payment time. It might be better, it might be worse. We have seen zero evidence either way. And I know the US process is used to doing this part, although they do it pretty badly. It's a coin toss. I personally am going to stay on the US track because I kind of understand it. But, you know, to
so
each their own.
If you opt in, you can't get a payout from both the US and the Bahamas. If you opt into this, you're opting out of any payments from the US bankruptcy process and you're opting into the Bahamas. And it is a slightly more unknown process. I don't know too much about the Bahamian bankruptcy process. Maybe it's good for some people. I don't want to tell anyone not to vote for it or not to click that box, but I guess I don't know too much about it. So if I were a creditor, I probably wouldn't opt in just because I don't know enough about it. And it sounds like that's what you're doing too.
Look, the odds are if you're in the US, you should probably not click it. If you're out of the US, take your chances. Who knows? The US is used to paying people. It is probably simpler to stay in the US process. Who knows? It might take years to be in the Bahaman process. It might take 2 days. Don't know, have no evidence to make any decisions.
And
Scary.
there's no filing on the docket that lays out what the Bahamian process would be like. Is there? Is there anything online that you've seen that
Nothing.
would lay out? Okay, so we don't know. It's an unknown kind of process, it
If you
seems.
want to opt into the Bahamas, you click on the box. If you
If
don't
anyone
want
watching
to,
this does have any more information on the Bahamian process and wants to give it to me and come on the channel, you're welcome to, just to give other creditors some information. But like Louis was saying, if you want to opt into the Bahamas, you click that box. If you don't want to opt in, you just leave that blank.
if you click next, you're going to see a little error message. Sometimes there's an error message. I think I ticked the box and then unticked it, which removed the error message. Don't worry about the error message. It's literally shitty. You are not a coin customer, probably. If you're an FTX EU customer, you're not even entitled to vote. You were supposed to get your money 6 months ago. You're still not getting it. It's a bit, is that what the Bahamian process looks like? Now, this claim has $57,000 of voting amount. Okay, great. Next. It matches the scheduled amount. Sometimes I've seen some claims where it does not match the schedule amount.
You want to clarify what you mean by the schedule amount?
Your amount that you're expecting to get that's on the schedules, as in if you had a Bitcoin, it'd be about 16K. You can use your unique customer code and go to FTX creditor, and you will be able to see what your scheduled amount is.
Okay, so ftxcreditor.com, and you can input your unique customer code. Go find that. I believe it's in your email somewhere.
Yes. So click next again. You get your stipulated amount again. And then you have to agree to the amount if you want.
Okay.
Next. This account is a class 5A. It's a .com customer entitlement claim. If it were convenience class below 50K, it would be a class 7A claim. This one isn't. I can show you one after. If you have a class 5A, do not tick this box. If you tick this box, your claim is going to be reduced to 50K.
Oh, so this box basically is you opting into being in the convenience class, and convenience class creditors are those that are classified as having less than $50,000 that they're owed by FTX, correct?
Yes, bad idea. So unless you want to be reduced to 50K, don't click this button.
Okay. So for Celsius, there were some reasons why some people may want to opt in. So like if someone had like $51,000 in their account,
I
for
think if you
example,
have $51,000, that's a calculation you need to make.
yeah, make that mathematical calculation. What did you say? So convenience class people would get, you said 119%?
In a one-time payout of 119%, which I estimate to, go out maybe in January or February. I think that's realistic.
Yeah, 2025.
And the non-convenience class are going to get an unknown first payout after all the convenience class have been paid out. So call that March. And your recovery is estimated between 127 and 143. And it will take a long time to get to that recovery number, maybe 5 years.
Oh, okay. So non-convenience class or people with more than $50,000 in their account would likely get a bigger payout ultimately, but it'll take much longer time and you'll get multiple payouts.
Correct.
So you can make that calculation, do what's best for you, but opting into this is basically dropping you into the convenience class.
So I feel like this 57K claim, we would not vote it as part of the convenience class.
Okay.
But if it were a 51K claim, we'd think about it. To be fair, we have like nearly 4,000 claims to think about, so this is going to be some work.
Yeah.
Next. That is the dictionary button. That's not good. Next. Now, item 7, you're asked whether or not you want to vote on the plan. So you can click accept the plan, or you can click reject, whichever one fits your fancy. I'm just going to show you what I'm personally doing, which is this. I'm accepting the plan.
And I have had people on my channel that are rejecting the plan. So if you want to
Yeah.
hear both sides, and people like Sunil have been on my channel and he's planning on voting no. So if you care to listen to both sides.
I am accepting the plan because I want to get out of Chapter 11 as soon as possible so that, one, I can get my money back. I'm also a claim buyer, but I also had personal accounts.
Yeah.
I want to use the money from my personal accounts to buy back the Bitcoin I had on my personal account. So I would like to do that. Thank you very much. And I don't think staying in Chapter 11 any longer is going to do anything for me other than enrich the lawyers more. So I would like to move on. So this is why I'm voting for the plan.
I totally understand that argument. I mean, I voted yes on the Celsius plan because I wanted the same things to get out of Chapter 11, didn't want my money to be bleeding to the lawyers. So I understand. Yeah.
I voted no on the Celsius plan because it was significantly worse than this one. This one's actually, I think, the highest recovery bankruptcy plan ever.
Shout out Samuel. Just kidding.
Shout out Sam. So item 8 is probably the most contentious thing in this whole voting process. It's the third-party release. What is the third-party release? If you just read this, by checking this box, you elect to opt out of the third-party release. If you check this box, you do not release FTX, the people who have been in charge of the bankruptcy, from lawsuits. If you don't tick the box, you're releasing them from potential lawsuits. What are the arguments for each side? Argument for not releasing is, I want to be able to sue Sullivan and Cromwell, Alvarez and Marsal, and other law firms that have worked on FTX because I feel like they've done a bad job. And maybe I can get something from that. That is a reasonable argument. Argument 2 for giving them the release is, if people start suing them, it will slow down the distributions and reduce the recovery and slow everything down, particularly for Class 5A customers. People not in the convenience class are going to get bogged down in people suing the law firms. It's somewhat counterproductive to sue the law firms because the law firms are probably going to win, given that it is bankruptcy judges that are going to look at the suits. And they kind of want to take care of their own in a way. I'm very cynical. You can look at it however you want. Personally, I don't want to slow things down. I want to get my money as fast as possible. There's a recent Supreme Court case that actually delivered a verdict on something just like this. The Sackler family versus the OxyContin and oxycodone victims. Have you heard of this, Tiffany?
No.
The Sackler family had a big settlement with the victims of the opioid epidemic that they are partly responsible for. And in their settlement, they said, look, we'll give you the settlement if we get a third-party release, a big release. And the Supreme Court has said that it is unconstitutional to give a tit-for-tat release. If you're a lawyer watching this and I'm talking a load of shit, it's because I've had a lot of drinks and that I'm wrong. Please let us know why I'm wrong. But you can't give a tit-for-tat release, as in, I give you $1 billion more and you give me a release. So this release is free. It's up to you to decide if you want to release these guys or not release them. If you don't release them, the probability of things getting slowed down is higher. That's it. Questions?
Cheers. So is voting yes or no to this, like opting into whatever, like, is there potentially a payout to be had if they were to win this litigation, and is opting
the
out?
litigation doesn't exist yet, but one can imagine someone like Sunil suing Sullivan and Cromwell. There is an anti-double dip provision in the plan, so any recovery from that lawsuit would go back into the bankruptcy estate and would be distributed to everybody.
Okay.
I can tell everybody what I'm going to do personally. Does not necessarily reflect what my company is going to do. We're actually undecided. We have until August 16th, and I have not voted my claim yet. I have not made this decision, but I actually think I might release them. I haven't decided, but it risks slowing things down significantly.
Okay. And I'm not here to tell you, and Louis not here to tell everyone what to vote here. You can make your own decision on everything, but that's
I
what Louis.
haven't made my decision yet. I approach all of this now, where we're at today, from a position of fear because I'm afraid that things will be slowed down. I want to get out of this chapter 11. I'm done. I want
I
out.
would
I
say,
want my money.
yeah. I'd say the majority of people likely want out and likely aren't paying that much attention to this process and want their money back as quickly as possible. So that's what I would imagine.
And I think a lot
Also,
of people are scared. This is complicated. Look at all these block letters. Look, all caps. All
yeah,
caps.
there's a lot of reading to do there, but yeah,
And do you even understand what you're reading? I mean,
most people probably don't. And I mean, I imagine most people won't take the time to read it. I probably wouldn't either. So that's why we're trying to do this concise video to explain things for you guys.
to put into context, people want to get out of this chapter 11 so bad that just today we've had 100 people sell their claim.
Wow.
Just today.
In case you guys aren't aware, Louis is a co-founder of ftxcreditor.com who has been sponsoring my YouTube videos covering
And
FTX.
Tiffany's been really great.
It's a good option if you'd like to sell your claim and get access to immediate liquidity. Don't have to sell your claim if you don't want to. Do what's best for you. Okay,
Totally.
so carrying on in the ballot.
You keep clicking next. You put your name. You sign.
Hi.
With a little heart.
Oh, with the heart. You're like a teenage girl.
All of this stuff. There you go. Next. Legalese, that actually doesn't say anything. Next. And then you submit once you're done. And you will receive an email confirmation with a PDF. If you are planning to sell your claim, you should vote first. And if you're planning to sell your claim, then don't vote and let the claim buyer decide what you're going to vote. If you vote against the plan, you are not released from preference exposure.
Wait, you said two conflicting things. You said if you're planning to sell your claim, you should
You
vote.
should either vote if you want to vote, and if you
Uh-huh.
don't want to vote, let the claim buyer decide.
Okay, okay. But you can't sell it and then vote.
The claim buyer would then vote for you.
Yeah, yeah. And should we be clear here that like since you own a lot of claims here, you have a lot of power here. So
I'm
Louis
the
has a
single largest voting block, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, Louis has a lot of say here because he's purchased a lot of claims and he's going to be able to vote for these people's claims. If you would like to make the decision prior to selling your claim for any reason, I don't know why you would want to make why you'd want to have say if you were going to sell your claim, but if you'd like to, you can vote and then sell your claim if you want, or don't sell your claim. But anyway,
Well, yeah. It might be a little more difficult because you're not releasing the debtors from pref. So if you have preference exposure and you vote against the plan, they can go after your clawbacks, similar to what happened in Celsius.
so yeah, if you have clawback exposure and you sold your claim, it's you that's still liable for the clawbacks, not the claim buyer.
It's a bit more technical than that because if there's money in the account, the debtors would just go after the money in the account first.
Okay, yeah.
So the claim buyer would definitely vote for the plan
Okay.
in that
Okay.
scenario.
Is that the
My
end?
view is that the plan is going to pass.
I don't see a lot of bankruptcies, especially in crypto, but I mean, I watched Celsius's and Celsius's plan passed with flying colors, even though Louis had issues with Celsius's plan and a lot of people did. But I would imagine that a similar thing will happen with FTX since most people want to get out of this bankruptcy.
I don't think anybody cares about my convenience class ballot, so I won't show them that. It's the same thing, but a little simpler. You don't have the choice to become convenience class. Whatever
Well,
you do, if you have a 100K claim, please don't click that button that puts you down to 50K.
don't
No,
opt into the convenience class unless you happen to have like $51,000 or something like that in your account. Also, if anyone wants us to do a separate video specifically for those of you who are convenience class creditors, then we can do that. But this should cover most of it.
covers all of it. And now you can
Yeah.
cut to that sweet video in the dungeon I did.
Louis made me a cute little video from his dungeon in France. He claims it's not a sex dungeon. Do
No
you
sex
stand by that, Louis?
You wouldn't really want a sex dungeon down there. It's quite dusty. And like
So you've
sand.
never repurposed it just once? Give it a shot?
Nah,
If I had a dungeon and I had a girlfriend or a boyfriend, we might try a few things.
you're more adventurous than I am. People have been tortured and died, killed there. I've no doubt.
Makes it a little spicy.
I have to run. I
Okay.
have to do a call. But this was fun.
Okay, I hope this was informative. We love Louis. You'll see some clips of the dungeon. Bye, Lou, and I'll talk to you soon. Let us know if you want us to do any more videos anytime soon.
Yes,
Bye.
please. As promised, Tiffany, I'm taking you all to the dungeon. So as we walk down, this dungeon was originally built, as far as we know, we don't really know, in the 13th century to protect against those damned English, who as early as the 13th century were coming down into France and being quite painful. And some of it is really old, some of it is a little newer, and you know, you've got parts that you are a little scary. Parts like this. Ooh, spooky. And you walk down, a lot of it is plumbing to the old bathrooms and stuff. Some of them are stairs. Stairs to where, you may ask? I don't fucking know, because it's actually like blocked up there now, because I think that part of the tower's collapsed and is lost to time. And then you have these like weird jail cells and stuff with hooks and odd things. Like this one in here. Oh, look at these cool wine barrels. Probably not very exciting content, but you asked for it. And here is the base of one of the towers that's actually standing. And that's what was fun. I think I should put myself behind the cage. You can cut to that. You can cut to this. Or not. No, the north of France was invaded multiple times by the English because the English had a pretty legitimate claim to the French throne. Let's see if I can. Ah! I've walked into the dungeon! Oops.